Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack what's easily one of the most talked about, literally jaw-dropping news stories right now. They are building a massive Ultimate Fighting Championship cage right on the lawn of the White House. I mean, it's a story that has absolutely set the internet and the political world on fire. But instead of getting totally lost in the noise, we are going to look strictly at the facts. We're going to figure out why this event is testing the boundaries of using public grounds for private entertainment, what the core disagreements actually are, and the fascinating corporate strategy operating behind the scenes.
So here is our agenda for today. First, the White House UFC spectacle. Second, who is footing the bill? Third, critics point to public needs. Fourth, the administration's defense. And finally, the historic fight night details. Section 1, the White House UFC spectacle, a massive arena on the South Lawn. To really grasp the sheer scale of what's happening here, you kind of have to picture the setup. We're talking about a temporary 5,000-seat arena surrounding a regulation UFC octagon planted right outside the front door of the White House. But it doesn't stop there. The construction also includes this massive 250-foot arch over near Arlington Cemetery, tons of temporary seating, and get this, even ringside space for a full marching band. Because, nothing says marching band quite like a mixed martial arts cage match. It's a truly monumental undertaking for Flag Day on June 14th, 2026, tying into the celebration of America's 250th anniversary. It is a spectacle unlike literally anything we have ever seen at the Executive Mansion. Now, with construction of this insane magnitude, there's one immediate question that pops up. It's actually the exact question driving a huge chunk of the current political debate right now. Who is actually paying for this? Section 2. Who is footing the bill? The corporate strategy behind the cage. $60 million. Yeah, that is a staggering amount of money. According to reporting from the Sports Business Journal, that is the estimated price tag for this custom arena. But here is the absolutely crucial fact when it comes to the corporate sponsors. The UFC and its parent company, TKO, have explicitly stated that they are footing this entire bill. The government isn't paying the $60 million tab, the corporate sponsors are. So you might be wondering, why on earth would a corporation just hand over that kind of cash for a simple night? Well, listen to how TKO president Mark Shapiro explains their business strategy. He actually admits they are projecting a $30 million loss on the event itself, but he immediately follows it up by asking, are we really losing? He points out that the attention and the earned media of hosting a fight at the actual White House is an opportunity that other properties would kill for. They're willingly taking a massive short-term financial hit just for the unmatched branding opportunity of slapping their logo on the South Lawn. And UFC CEO Dana White? He was even more blunt about it. When asked by the press, he confirmed, no, we're eating the whole thing. He's hyping this up as a totally historic, one-of-one fight. He even compared it to their massive, record-breaking event at the Las Vegas Sphere, bragging that this White House setup is going to make the Sphere look like ashtray money. So the corporate strategy here is crystal clear. They're spending massive private dollars for a massive public relations return. Section 3. Critics point to public needs. Kitchen table issues versus event spectacle. Now, despite the fact that this is privately funded, the event has triggered an absolute firestorm of political backlash. Democrats are intensely scrutinizing the administration, arguing this totally blurs the line between official government functions and basically campaign-style entertainment. Just listen how Senator Adam Schiff frames it. He says, Trump is building a golden ballroom and for his birthday party, while you're fighting to pay this month's bills. The core criticism here is all about optics and priorities. Critics are arguing that using public White House grounds for a glitzy corporate spectacle shows the administration is out of touch with the everyday economic struggles of regular Americans. We're seeing this exact same argument from Representative Jared Huffman, who ties his frustration directly to everyday household needs. He's talking about groceries, gas, healthcare. Now, to impartially report on this, it's really important to point out that Representative Huffman claims Trump is spending your money on the arch, which directly contradicts the UFC's statements that they're entirely funding the $60 million project. But honestly, even if the funding is 100% private, critics are weaponizing the optics of it all. Politicians like Huffman and California Governor Gavin Newsom are contrasting this huge multi-million-dollar sports arena on government property against a backdrop of voters who are just looking for lower gas prices. Section 4. The Administration's Defense, Celebrating America's 250th Anniversary. So how is the White House administration defending all this? Well, spokesperson Davis Ingle offered a very pointed response. He stated, Democrats are opposed to anything that celebrates the greatness of our country because they are America's last losers. He went on to frame the event strictly as part of the president's vision to celebrate America's monumental 250th anniversary. The administration's defense is entirely rooted in patriotism and making history. To them, this isn't a political stunt. It's part of a massive semi-centennial program, which, by the way, also includes an IndyCar race and a Great American State Fair, all meant to celebrate the nation's founding. So we're really seeing a massive split in the public discourse here. On one end, you have the critics' view this is a distraction from pressing public needs, right? It's an inappropriate blurring of official government grounds with corporate entertainment. But on the other side, you have the administration's view this is a privately funded, historic, incredibly patriotic celebration of America's 250th birthday. It's a perfect encapsulation of how two completely opposed political narratives can be built around the exact same event. Section 5. Historic Fight Night Details. Who is fighting and how to watch. Now, for all the political friction surrounding this, a major sporting event is absolutely still happening, and the UFC is packing the deck with huge stars for what they're calling UFC Freedom 250. According to the press releases, we're talking about massive names here. Ilia Topuria, Justin Gaethje, Alex Pereira, and Cyril Gane are all slated to show up. Dana White has teased that every single fight on this card has the potential to be a fight of the night. If you're planning to tune in on June 14th, the prelims kick off at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, with the main card starting at 8 p.m., expected to be on Paramount+. But the truly wild part is just how many people are going to be there. 85,000. The UFC plans to hand out up to 85,000 free tickets. The temporary arena itself holds about 5,000, but they're setting up these huge screens in a park at the nearby Ellipse just to handle the massive crowds descending on Washington, D.C. So if you're anywhere near DC that weekend, expect the whole city to be totally transformed. The sheer amount of free access ensures this is going to be a hugely attended spectacle, no matter what political debates are swirling around it. Which brings us to our final thought today. We've dug into the $60 million in private funding, we've broken down the arguments that it distracts from everyday economic needs, and we've heard the administration's defense that this is a once-in-a-lifetime patriotic celebration. So I want to leave you with this. As America celebrates its 250th anniversary, where exactly is the line between a historic, patriotic celebration and just corporate entertainment on the White House lawn? Does the private funding excuse the optics, or does using public grounds for a corporate spectacle set a brand new precedent? It's a super fascinating debate, and I encourage you to weigh the facts we explored today as that June 14th event gets closer. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, guys, and keep questioning what you see.